I have professed time and time again that I really hate the whole console war mentality. Gaming is gaming is gaming is gaming. However people want to experience that is on them. But I find some of the things each console manufacturer is doing amongst the collective hand humanity was dealt really fascinating. Because obviously with Corona around and taking a heavy toll, especially here stateside, it has been interesting to see how both PlayStation and Xbox have handled this predicament in different ways. So, in order for me to talk about these differences, we're going to look at both consoles' build quality, accessories, under the hood performance, games, what I don't like about each console, and what I'm calling each console's Corona tax, meaning how much corner cutting they're doing with their launch lineup due to the whole virus situation. Understand? Good, let's go. Aesthetically, I don't really love either of these consoles' builds. All four of the new console releases have a boner for this upright mounting, and while convenient for people like me who have very narrow windows to stick their consoles into, it's not that great for everyone. I have seen many people complaining about this upright mounting and how many shelves don't have room for something like this, but to be fair, it looks like the Xbox Series X and S will be able to go sideways just fine. The PlayStations, though, the rounded shells make me doubt that they will be able to go sideways at all. Let's get into the specifics, though. Purely on aesthetics, I think my favorite of the consoles shown is the Xbox Series X. It's simplistic, but I ultimately love the matte black and little green-black grill thing they have going towards the top. It reminds me of the old Xbox startup animation. The Series S isn't that far behind this one, though. The white with the black speaker-esque design is also just really clean-looking to me. There is no way that either of these consoles are going to be staying that clean-looking throughout the years of shelf life they're likely going to get. I imagine in particular the little grill on top of the Xbox is going to be like a dust magnet, but I really enjoy the minimalist designs that this console generation has given us, even if the name is stupid. Now, to completely backtrack and talk about over-designed consoles, well, yeah, I'm not really a fan. Everything about the PS5 just seems so much. Did we really need the blue LEDs? Did we really need this weird angular shape? Did we really need it to be upright? Did we need a model without a disk drive? Did the model with a disk drive need this hump? I hate to say it, but this is probably going to be like the OG PS3 or Xbox One. Within a year, they're probably going to make a way more bearable model, but likely without a disk drive too, so who knows. Either way though, based on the 4 models of consoles available, this is my ranking. Points to Xbox. The often understated portion of console launches like this is what else is coming along for us to sink our teeth into. Well, for Xbox, not much. Their own website stating that their accessories are forwards compatible with the next generation, including their controllers, which is a nice touch. Everyone hated the Wii U, but I loved not having to buy a new set of controllers for a new console. As for the Xbox Series X controller, it looks like a slightly cleaner model of the Xbox One controller. Xbox's Brian Whitaker has even gone on record saying that this forwards compatibility and lack of new accessories or heavy innovation on the controller is to make the experience the best for everyone, which awesome. I would be totally bummed if I had to replace my Xbox One controller. I have the special edition Minecraft Pig one as my go-to controller. Love this bad boy. A slightly better D-pad, a share button, and some new texture on the triggers, and you've got yourself the best of the last generation. PlayStation went for a different route. I do not like the DualSense. Granted, at first I didn't really like the DualShock either, but I got the hang of it eventually. But the DualSense just doesn't look comfortable to hold. They re-included the touchpad on the damn thing, even though most gamers just use that as a map button, and it just looks so much worse to hold overall. Strong dislike, stop making white controllers. But controllers aren't the only accessory. Xbox may not have anything new to show, but PlayStation definitely does, making officially branded and matching headphones, media remote, camera for VR shenanigans, and an official controller charging dock, which I love. As much as I dislike the aesthetic of the console and DualSense, the other accessories look very clean and nice with that same color scheme applied. But this really brings us to a head. Do I reward the company with more accessories available to the consumer that all look really clean and aesthetically pleasing and nice together? Or do I reward the company not forcing us to buy new accessories? Both of these strategies have their own merit and appeal, so you know what? Points for both. Underneath the hood, both these consoles are packing some serious beef beneath the lackluster exteriors. But who's doing it better? When it comes to just the numbers, Xbox seems to be on top, with a slightly faster processor, more teraflops, and more SSD storage. But PlayStation has a specially made GPU and SSD that will likely boost performance for people working on exclusively Sony hardware. However, we may be looking at a PS3 style scenario here, where even though the PlayStation was more powerful, it could be harder to develop for as a cost to their optimization on their platforms. Honestly though, power doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's really more of a matter of if they can run the same games, and well, it definitely looks like they can, so points for both again? So in terms of launch lineups, both are oddly barren in their own ways, but more importantly, both have key exclusives that will be playable on other platforms. It looks like every Xbox Series X/S launch title will be available on other platforms, whether it be PC through Game Pass or the last-gen consoles. Also, the lineup isn't really that impressive, regardless of any exclusivity issues. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Destiny 2 Beyond Light, Dirt, Gears Tactics, Tetris Effect Connected, Watch Dogs Legion, and Yakuza Like a Dragon. Not necessarily a bad lineup of games, but they all kind of feel like they only appeal to a limited audience and not an overlapping one. As for the PS5, however, things look better, but still questionable. They kind of suffer the same fate as most of the Xbox lineup. Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Sackboy: A Big Adventure are coming out on PS4 as well. Likely less graphically appealing, but you get a free upgrade when you inevitably do buy the next console. Godfall is on PC as well, so unless you really want Astro's Playroom, Destruction All-Stars, or Demon Souls, you might as well wait for a sale. However, on the pro-consumer end, both consoles also promise a large amount of hits from the last generation if you buy their new consoles. Sony and their PS Plus deals will be awesome to anyone who stayed Team Green the entire last generation, but not serve much value to anyone else, and Xbox Game Pass has always maintained good value, especially for people who play on PC too. So when it comes down to it, Xbox really has nothing exclusive to it. If you own a PC and want to get a console, it seems very moot to chase Xbox, as most Xbox games are available on PC too. As for PlayStation users, yes, you can already play some of the new games if you're already in the PlayStation atmosphere, but I can't deny, for someone who can only buy one console and you have no other means of playing games, PlayStation has a better value because of the PS Plus package. But honestly, for someone like me who primarily games on PC, I need to go with the console that can offer me something I can't elsewhere, and for me, that's gonna be PlayStation. Points to PlayStation! Both consoles have some stuff going on that I really don't like, so while I won't be awarding any points during this segment, label this as pre-orderer's suspicions. Xbox is really losing me with how little faith they have in their console. They're being very pro-consumer, letting all their games be on PC too, but that means for a lot of people in the gaming space, there's no reason to buy their console at all. A lot of people already have PCs more than capable than the Series X, and what is fully console exclusive isn't that appealing. I historically have enjoyed Xbox more than Sony, but they've really lost me on the way they've handled this whole thing. And then we have the Series S, which is also very pro-consumer in my eyes. While possibly not as powerful as even the Xbox One X, giving a guaranteed way for folks not interested in 4K to experience the next generation of consoles is great. I know a lot of people who only have consoles to play the yearly FIFA or Madden or maybe Call of Duty, and those are the only games they play. And for someone like that, the Series S is the perfect system. But this leads me to an even bigger problem with both the new consoles of this generation. What is the deal with no disk drive, and such small base storage too? Full AAA games nowadays are around 100 gigabytes. There's no way in hell that storage is gonna last at all. Oh man, I bought all of the PS5 launch games, now I have to buy another hard drive. But that's not even it. Since both consoles are boasting about their prestigious, super awesome custom SSDs they're rocking, they're probably making games optimized for it, which means more expensive storage add-ons for you and me, likely making us pay even more for official drives. This is such a blatantly anti-consumer move, and that's not even answering how much this is likely going to cripple game stores. GameStop is already hemorrhaging money as we speak, and the fact that both of the major console distributors are releasing much cheaper versions of their respective consoles without a disc, who is going to go to a GameStop to buy a download code? Fucking no one! That's who! People hated buying physical games on Switch only to find out they were just downloads. Now it's basically going to be only downloads. It seems like a very inefficient system. This feels especially blasphemous from PlayStation though, who's raising the prices of these new games to $70. Are they just trying to cheat the system? Who fucking knows, man? Both consoles get no points. These are boo-boos. So what would have happened if we never had succumbed to the virus, we'll never know, but we can make a few guesses. For one, I'm pretty sure that Spider-Man Miles Morales was planned to be a much bigger game than it currently is. The fact that it appears to be using the same engine, map, and similar models as the last Spider-Man game, and it's not following up on any of the story beats of the original either, so maybe this is just a filler game while we wait for the true Spider-Man and Miles Morales story. This, as well as all those PS4 games on PS5 and all those PS5 games coming to PS4, just kind of proves to me that the PS5 is being rushed out the gate. And of course, on Team Green, Halo. Halo Infinite would have been the thing that set it apart from PlayStation, but it's being delayed, leaving Xbox to have no games to headline the Series X release. It's sad, but it's kind of what I expected. And well, I'm also willing to say, had it not been for the virus, we probably would have had more than 6 games headlining each console's release. Minus a point to both sides. So we don't have a clear winner. Both of these consoles are suffering immensely because of the time they're releasing, so I'll just flat out say it. This war isn't going to have a winner till the true release date of the consoles. What do you mean the true release date of the consoles? They're coming out in November. Yeah, the consoles are coming out in November, but we're going to have to wait a year for either of them to be worth a damn anyways. They could have waited a year on this release. They're already releasing all their games on multiple platforms, and they are releasing games that aren't even tailored for the newest consoles. They're both promising 8K when most top-of-the-line PCs struggle with that. They're both promising 120 FPS even though most core console folk don't have screens that can properly show that. Come back to me when they have value, because right now, they're just a pre-order that we can touch. Hey everyone, if you liked what you saw here today, then please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment which console you're most excited for, all that jazz. Might as well partake in positivity now, after that negative last few minutes. I got a lot of my information in this video from different news sources on the internet, so if you're curious where I got any of my information, I will link things down in the description, so if I'm glaringly wrong about something, you'll at least know why. But before you do any of that, I've been Rareware, and thank you so much for watching. See ya!